Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Misfits Racing League highlights video. We are here for the first of 5. It's the Italian Grand Prix, and to take you away, it's the European division with the highlights. We hope you enjoy what we picked out. Well, let's take a look. Filipic on pole position, a 1:18.063 was the time, and then we have a Hungarian 2-3 here. Domi, 1:18.374 from him. Hurricane, a 1:18.456. There's Nigel in 4th. Kai Bacchini in 5th, and Safso rounding out your top 6. Of course, we will be going down through the rest of this grid on the formation lap, as I think he might have been the last one to do so here, and the lights are coming on. Unicorn, take us away here around Monza.
There we go, the engines getting ready. They're all revving up, and away we go here for Monza. It looks like Nigel's had an excellent start. The same can't be said for Domi or Hurricane. You can see Kai Bacchini, he's up into P2 already. Vettel, he's fighting down into turn 1, and this is where drivers have to be super careful. We've got the Haas of Nigel, someone, I think that's Vettel, taking a little bit of his Hurricane, my apologies, through turn 1, taking a lot of that inside curbing to avoid any incidents. Then behind them we've got Safso and Nigel. They're side by side with Jake and Matteo. They're side by side as well. Nigel is down 5 places. He had an excellent start, but sort of backed out of it. Safso passes him down into the second chicane, and it's Jake up the inside, taking both of them into the second chicane. Very risky in these wet conditions, but he's managed to pull it off. Nigel just taking a little bit more of that inside curve than I imagined, and behind them there's an issue.
Matteo,
I think it's Ruben
on the inside. He's looking at Nigel coming through this first Lesmo here, and he's got a great shot of what's going on in front of him. Nigel's having a little bit of an issue. Matteo with a little love tap there, bumps him off the circuit, but there's not much that can be done in these slick conditions here. Look at the Renault now. That's Beavis looking up the inside, coming down to Ascari, and this is really tempting fate. They're coming wheel to wheel into the Ascari chicane. Beavis drops off of the McLaren, and Matteo holds it in 10th, but that was extremely intense between these two.
falling back substantially, and obviously Nigel has had such a bad start as well.
Matteo,
Chocolate, though.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Unicorn. Matteo's on the hunt right now. He's wheel to wheel with Safso coming through out of the first Lesmo into the second Lesmo. He's got the move ahead of the Renault, but there goes Safso with a great exit, dispatching the McLaren on the switchback. And this is just fantastic racing, and you love to see it. Meanwhile, this is Matteo stuck between two Renault drivers. I imagine this is a very interesting situation, considering it's his older brother that drives for the Renault team, but it's Matteo through. Safso's had an issue. Beavis needs to avenge the position coming out of the Renault squad now.
Yeah, Beavis, he's going to be looking on the inside on relapse, I think, into the Ascari chicane. They're side by side, and it is Beavis. He just seems to have all the pace going into that first turn of Ascari, and he's got that completely cemented already before the corner's even been taken. Nigel trying to recollect what he's lost from the opening few laps. He's back into P14 after overtaking Zamus through Ascari.
Have to check back in a second because it's Domi and Kai having a drag down into turn 1. Unicorn, take us through this, please.
Yeah, Kai Bacchini got super wide coming out of Parabolica, and Domi, he's not going to let an opportunity like that slip past him, and he's just taken full advantage of his teammate's error. Side with the McLaren, yet that's where it is, and they're both on the brakes at pretty much the same time. I think Matteo releasing them a little bit later. He's going to defend around the outside. A little bit of contact between the two, but it is Nigel just inching ahead as they come towards the Curva Grande.
Is he going to snap this to the inside right now? Does he look? Yes, he does. He goes for the lunge up the inside into Ascari, squeezing off the racing point there, and that is the move done from Domi for lead of this race. But was it all for naught? Look at the exit coming out of that racing point and the battery utilization. It's a drag race down into Parabolica now, and that is the racing point back into lead of this race. Of course, no pun intended. Domi on the outside through turn 1, a bit of a lockup now. Really tight racing between these two, and of course, who's going to have the better exit now? Coming out of turn 2, there goes Domi ahead of Filipic. Back into lead of this race. He had it for a moment on lap 12. Is he going to hold it for only a moment here on lap 13? A little bit of contact now, getting shaky, and I cannot believe that these drivers are still going at some point. So Filipic has decided to do so, and this is going to be a very interesting strategy from him. A safety car has been deployed. Dirk Chocolate's out of this race, Unicorn, and it looks like it happened just outside of this second Lesmo. That car has done a complete 180, and that front right tire is sitting on the bonnet.
As I do believe Vettel has restarted this race. And he seems to have got the rest sleeping a little bit.
Well, Kai isn't sleeping, I'll tell you that. He's extremely wide awake here as he's staring at the rear wing of Filipich. Now Domi and Vettel almost wheel to wheel here. It's an exchange between Williams and Racing Point right now. And right now, those Racing Points are caught in the reverse position that we saw the Williams in earlier. There goes Filipich ahead of Vettel. Vettel acting as rear gunner in this situation now as we come through Curva Grande. Now these drivers are all wheel to wheel, and there is Hurricane in on this mix. Not a single one of these racers wants to yield anything. Ruben takes a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, and judging by the fact that Beavis is dropping back from these guys massively, he's had the AI car of Nigel tailgunning, but Jake has so much traction coming through the first Lesmos, and he is straight into P6, so it is not dry enough for dry tyres yet. And I think relapse, not relapse, it's XTXP's just found that out by taking an unexpected trip to the wall. So it is still intermediate tyres, the preferential treatment. Steph gets past the AI controlled as Matteo looks up his inside very late into Ascari. Steph's going to have a look at Beaver's going to exit. The Renault on the mediums is a sitting duck for these intermediate runners.
Comes online here. I don't think it's time that we're going to see. Oh, and Kai Bacchini. 2 big snaps. This has left him exposed. Here comes Hurricane. Kai trying to defend him.
Yeah, Kai parked that right in the middle of the Curva Grande, and it's very good defensive position. Hurricane thought he could squeeze it around the outside, and I think there was just enough space, but he didn't put his car quite far to the left. Through the first, this was a little bit of a touch. The Ferrari having to back out to avoid the spin there. Through the second Lesmos, and these guys are still not side by side yet, but I think Hurricane might want to change that, getting an absolutely astonishing exit out of that second Lesmos.
Oh!
And there's a spin. Was there contact there between the pair of them? And Cappuccini's out. Jake goes with a late brake around the inside, but it's going to spin or slide for the Mercedes, who just has to slow down to avoid spinning Steph, and that's Zamas into P4, and Steph has got away very luckily from that. He's managed to retain P3. An excellent recovery drive for the founder of MRL as Tim picks up 3 seconds. He's out of the points though.
15 positions for Zamas. That's 14 for Steph, and I think Zamas is looking to make it 16 positions gain as Filipich takes, well, Domi takes the checkered flag. Filipich collects him for the win on penalties. Steph now. Big wobble there. His teammate Tim collects the checkered flag early, and there it is. Zamas into third. What a race